G'day.
Hello.
It's going to catch up on the 2 weeks that we spent in Alice Springs, while Terry recovered from her bite. We really enjoyed Alice Springs. There was a lot to see. The caravan park we stayed at was really good. There was lots of stuff to do in the caravan park. There was lots of stuff to do in Alice Springs, and there was lots of stuff to see just on the outskirts of Alice Springs. Like in Alice Springs itself, we went to what they call the cultural precinct, which had the Aralulin Art Centre, which had some artworks from Albert Namatjira and some other paintings and local Aboriginal art and weaving and things like that. Then next door to that was the Central Australian Aviation Museum, which had stuff to do with the RFDS, the local airline, historical aircraft, some gear I used to work on, the wreckage of I think it was called the Kangaroo, which was a plane that was lost out in the desert. They were searching for Kingsford Smith, and they recovered those ruins, and they're housed there. There was the Central Australian Museum, which had some stuff on the geological stuff of the region, the local animals. It had a really interesting photo display from a missionary back from the early 1900s that lived out in an Aboriginal community out in Hermannsburg. There was some really good photos of what life was out here around here.
That was quite interesting. Yep.
Yeah. Then they had another precinct called the Historical Precinct, which had the RFDS, which we went through, the tourist facility there. Next to that was the old jail and the Women's Museum. We didn't get a chance to see that. And the Reptile Museum, we didn't get a chance to see that. There's another museum which everyone raved about as well, the Transport Museum, which was on the outskirts of town.
Okay.
So we didn't get to see those three, but apparently
the transport ones.
So
gets good reviews.
We went out to the Desert Park, which was like a wildlife reserve sanctuary, which had dingoes and
emus,
had
kangaroos.
Had a nocturnal house which was really, really well set up, and you could see bilbies and snakes and owls.
All in the
dark. Then there was the birds of prey, where they had them all flying around, and
they had a couple of shows per day on those. That was really good.
All the stuff out there is sort of the animals that live around this area in the desert.
Animals,
so it's a pretty large area, and you just walk around and lots of nice scenery. Just near there was John Flynn's grave, which was once again a pretty spectacular sight from there, of the Gillen Ranges in the background. In town we went to a place called Megafauna, which was...
Just going back, John Flynn was the founder of the RFDS. That's why that's out there.
And it's a significant site.
Yeah.
And there's a bit of history about that as well, what went on with that, his grave. But we went to Megafauna, which was part of the Northern Territory Museum. They have these people that are working on a site where the Fink race sort of terminates at each time it's on. But they found all these old
bones
of old animals, or like prehistoric animals, large wombats and emus and things like that, and they found all these bone sites down there, and they've been digging them up over the last few years. So in this Megafauna you actually see some of the skeletons that they've put together, and they've got a viewing area of some of the guys in the actually working on the bones that they've retrieved and cleaning them up and putting them together. We went out to the telegraph station out at on the outskirts, which was once again a pretty interesting place, tied up with the history, and
it's where they set up
the overland telegraph station. Went through there, and
they could get telegrams from the UK.
Yeah, they hooked up from Adelaide up to Darwin, and then onto the undersea cable that allowed them to sort of then connect Australia with overseas. But that was all the first sort of European settlement around this area, which was Todd, the guy that was putting it. So you've got the Todd River, which goes through the centre of town. You've got Todd Mall, Even Alice Springs, his wife was Alice, and out at the telegraph station there's a water hole, but the people that worked there thought it was a spring, so they called it Alice Springs after Todd's wife, and eventually they changed the name of Stewarttown into Alice Springs, and that's where that came from. We went to the brewery, which was just down the road, Alice Springs Brewery. We went out to...
You like that beer?
Yeah, it was nice. We went for a couple of dinners at the local club here, the Eastside Club, which is a great little club. Went to the casino. We travelled down to the East Macdonnell Ranges, which is sort of all up is probably a couple of 100 k's, but along the way there's different gaps and gorges to look at. We didn't do all of it because some of the stuff is like 40-50 k's of bush bashing, four-wheel driving over rocks and stuff, and we just went to the stuff that we wanted to go and see, really. And we went out from Alice Springs. We also went for a bit of a drive out to the West Macdonnell Ranges, just to Simpsons Gap and Stanley Chasm, and out to Ellery Big Hole. And we went back to Simpsons Gap and Ellery Big Hole later on, because we actually, after Alice Springs, we camped out at Ormiston Gorge
for a couple of nights
out in the West Macdonnells. We had some rain one day, but
that was our first lot of rain since we've been on the road, really.
Yeah, it didn't restrict us from sort of seeing stuff. One day we went down to the railway line just near the caravan park where it goes through the gorge into Alice Springs itself, and watched the Garn or the Gan come in,
which was a really long train.
So no, it was a good stay, and there was lots of stuff to see. And like we said, we didn't really get to see it all, but we loved Alice Springs. So,
we even went and paid a visit to Sam Mac one morning, because Sunrise came to do their weather here.
That was...
Got up early.
Yeah, and the caravan park had things like, they had on top of the hill where that sunrise thing was, they've got a telescope, and they had a night where you could go up there and they would describe what you see in the night sky, pancake breakfasts, nibbles, sunset nibbles.
Had a chap that comes here each Thursday night. And puts on a show
with photos that he's taken over the last 10-20 years of the sites around the town and areas. So really good. So we've put some stuff together on this video, which sort of was the majority of the stuff that we did. And we'll catch up with you next time. Bye.
See ya.
Issue with the audio there, but I can hear you now. Good morning, everybody. We are at Discovery Parks in Alice Springs here this morning, and a huge crowd here. And I thought, wow, sunrise, we are so popular in Alice Springs. Then I realised there's free pancakes over there, and apparently that's what everyone got out of bed and is braving the cold for. But that's okay. We're happy to have you here in anyway. And we've got a special guest. We've got Skip over here. Round of applause for Skip. He's going to play us a song, which is going to be an absolute belter. You're going to love this song, After Your Weather. Performance now by Skip. Here's a song called You'll Never Know If You Never Go, and we're going to be joining in as backup singers. Are we ready, everyone? Yeah. Over to you, Skip.
You'll never know if you never go to the Northern Territory. Up and down the track, this big outback is steeped in history. Now the colour and the character, wildlife and grandeur, it's all in a world of its own. But you'll never know if you never go to the Northern Territory.
Round of applause for Skip, everybody. And that was actually used in a campaign for the Northern Territory back in the 90s. Very famous song, absolute belter. So proud to hear him play that for us this morning here at Discovery Parks, Alice Springs. We're going to be back with more in half an hour. Give us a wave, everyone. Beautiful Macdonnell Rangers behind us. It's a big couple of days in the NT for us.
That was a huge